Welcome back to Bite Size Magic. My name is Zach, and today I'm with Holden Pryo, the Ral father himself, to talk about a very different deck. Someone call it a slop deck. Someone call it the best new Azorius deck. That deck is King T'Challa. I'm going to save all the fun stuff for the episode, but stay tuned, see if you enjoy it, and let's jump right in. Okay, so today we are talking about King T'Challa.
Yeah, I'm literally just calling it King Hala at this point.
King T'Challa. We're talking about slop, and yeah, I love this deck. You brewed this whole thing all by yourself?
Oh yeah, all by myself. I did it by myself. I didn't have any help from anybody. In fact, these are cards no one's ever played before in Magic, let alone cEDH. So
tell me that anyone's ever played this in cEDH.
Yeah, well, also just I'm the inventor of playing Time Twister. I'm the inventor of playing Ranger Captain.
Yep.
So give me all the credit.
Shiva. Never heard this one
I'm
before.
literally the first person who's ever played Shiva.
Yeah. Did they make cards for you? Like, did Wizards make these cards for you specifically?
Yeah. Yeah, you know how there's like the cEDH like Cabal? There's also just like the actual Cabal of Illuminati, like powerful.
Of course, yeah.
Elite. And myself, along with Richard Garfield, are part of that Cabal. So
nice. Is his brain in like Futurama, just like in a glass?
It's like in a little glass container. I'm like, hey, Richard. He's like, hey, what's going on? Hey. It's awesome.
You want a commandeer?
I'm like, yes, I would like a free card that steals your thing.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
No, but in all seriousness, I brewed it up. Basically, where this came from was just me like reading this card. Okay, let me backtrack. For a very long time, I've been trying to play Azorius in cEDH.
Yeah.
And it's just never really felt quite good enough. Like the one time it did was when I was playing a lot of Wheeliod. I've got a list called Moldy Blueberries, and it's like still like a snapshot of time of back when I used to play it. Like this is like before Dockside bans and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put it in the 99. That's kind of a testing flex slot. I mean, basically, I think if you don't play that, you play 4 mana Flash Enabler Blue Fairy. That I can't remember the name of right now. The
Mage of Zalfir, is that him?
No. The 4 mana fairy that is not Teferi.
High Fate Trickster.
High Fate Trickster, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. I was like, you play this card. I know you know this card.
I do play this card.
I've been known to dabble.
This card. Why play 4 mana at flash speed when I could pay 7 mana at sorcery speed, though, right?
Dude, honestly, right? Better deal. I mean, it's mostly like, this is just like a fun pet card.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like about it, though, the difference is that this card face up isn't just like, oh shit, you guys are dead. Like when I put it on the stack, it's like, no, I'm going to play this. And if you want, you can respond to in the future if I decide to try to flip it. But I'm going to play this in order to like get back my charitable levy as a way to continue to tax on the table. Or I'm going to play this to rebuy my Static Prison or my Urza Saga that's gone to the yard just as like a value piece. Or I let my Remora die and then I replay this as a way to like rebuy my Remora, kind of paying the same sort of mana that I would have used anyways to pay the cumulative upkeep for the third turn or whatever. Like that's kind of the idea. I don't know if it's actually going to work in practice. I literally have not seen it in game yet. So
okay, sweet.
But yeah, I do like Azorius. I think it has all the most powerful shit, but it just doesn't love to figure out how to win the game. Like
it is hard. It's hard.
I'm gonna draw a bunch of cards and have all this cool interaction and these silences and stuff, and then like kind of not be able to like truly close.
Yeah.
At least
luckily, we have Scrawling Crawler. That's how we close.
Yeah, Scrawling Crawler. Do you know what's better than Scrawling Crawler? 3 copies of Scrawling Crawler, because you just keep fucking copying a Scrawling Crawler with your clever impersonators and your mirror maids and your flash photographies and your fucking Frosty Metamorphs or whatever. It's so cracked too. Like if anybody ever lets you go to your upkeep with like more than 1 in play, I think that a lot of times people just forget that like all the triggers happen. So like, they'll all trigger on your upkeep. Like let's say you have 2, they both trigger on your upkeep. The first one triggers, everybody takes 1 damage, then 1 damage from each Scrawling Crawler, and then it happens again. So like each one that you have just gets scarier and scarier. And there's times where like you go to the upkeep and then in response to the Scrawling Crawler trigger, you like flash in a flash photography and then flash back a flash photography. And then the table's like, oh yeah, we're dead to this. Like this actually kills us all. Like,
Scrawling Crawler will be the end of us. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I also just love that card personally.
Yeah.
So.
I know.
I'd probably
Big
put it in too
scrawling
many decks.
crawler guy.
Yeah,
I don't think it's fine. Okay, so cards, I think a lot of the creatures. Oh, hello to Fairy Time Raveler.
Dude, he's all up in that. He's up in your shit.
No, he said, hello.
He was like, boom, motherfucker.
Boom. Just Samuel Jackson.
Appears, like, up the screen. It's awesome.
I like a lot of the cards. Some of the ones people might have questions on. Baral.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of it, actually. I think it's pretty cool being able to discount and also loot with everything. That being said...
also looting is so much better when it's draw a card, discard a card, draw a card.
Yes.
Because it's triggering your commander. Like, what I've come to learn is that in, like, schlappy games, you're gonna just always get all the triggers from your commander on every turn cycle. So I think probably like before even really like analyzing all the cards, it is very important to just remember this card has flash and this card triggers off of your second card that you've drawn for turn. So like a very common play pattern is I go to my opponent's turn, they are trying to do something that wins the game or just is too scary, like they put a smothering tithe on the stack or whatever. That tithe triggers someone's Rhystic Study. I respond to that by flashing in my commander, which I don't pay for their Rhystic Study. So they draw their first card. Then that second card happens, or the second Rhystic Study trigger happens for, if I'm player D or 4 in turn order, and player 1 is the one who's pushing, and player 2 is the one with the Rhystic. So player 2 goes Rhystic trigger, I bury it in the stack. I cast my commander. I don't pay for the Rhystic. Now, player 1 is in this weird predicament where it's like, okay, I either choke myself on a little bit of mana and pay for this Rhystic so that the King Hala doesn't get a card draw here.
Yeah.
But usually, like, people don't care that much. And also they want to push and use their mana. So they're like, okay, cool. Then they let that trigger resolve, which is now the second card that will be drawn from player 2, which means I get a card draw. Now, on top of that, if I have cards like this, like Baral and things like that, when I go to do the counter somebody's thing or continue to push or whatever, or just people just playing cEDH in general, they're going to be drawing more cards. And then I get a trigger off of someone's second card for turn. Now that's my second card for turn. So now I've drawn a third card. And then if either of those other two players then draw 2 cards, now it's 4 cards in a turn. So it kind of like does this, like, obviously I'm not like telling anybody anything new, like Fairy Mastermind is good, right? Except for it's so much better when it benefits
triggers
you
off yourself.
Yeah, like the way it benefits you is kind of like this weird like hill kind of where like you start to gain a little bit of momentum and then all of a sudden just like, ooh, and then you just draw a bunch more cards like out of nowhere. Like it's kind of like you draw one and then as soon as you've drawn your second, now you've drawn your third, and it like kind of like creates this snowball turn after turn.
Totally.
So yeah, I think all the cards that make that happen without your opponents having to do anything, you do need to play some number of those, even though I would say in a vacuum they're strictly worse. So Baral's a great example of a card that's just like not really that great of a card. Same thing with Anvil of Bogardin in the artifact slot. It's a 2-drop.
Oh, I love this
reserve list card.
This
is a card that like I've been playing forever just because I'm a big Chains of Mephistopheles player, and those 2 cards are like, whatever, ketchup and wine or whatever. So when you go to play that card, I mean, the way that it's worded is not the way you actually play it. The true errata is all players have no maximum hand size, which also in and of itself does its own weird shit to like people's necro lines and stuff that they didn't think about, where you're like, where you're like, okay, cool. Yeah. I pass on your triggers in your end step. And they're like, and I'm like, okay, cool. Are you passing through your end step? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, great. It's the next player's turn. And they're like, they were expecting there to be like a moment of priority where the discard happens and then with the triggers on the stack, they breach or whatever. I'm like, no. You have no maximum hand size. You get to keep all 40 of those cards or whatever. So yeah, I mean, that's very French, obviously. But the big thing is it forces people to loot as the first draw that they have in their draw step. And so you're always getting an extra card on every player's turn. And then if anybody just casts one thing into a Rhystic, now that person's drawn an extra card. So now you draw again, and that's your second card, which then means you've now drawn 3 cards. So you just kind of like each turn, it's like this commander kind of just says like every turn draw 2 to 4 extra cards.
Right.
It's which is bonkers on a 3-drop flash creature that doesn't die to Bowmasters. Like, I mean, at least doesn't die immediately to Bowmasters.
We see kind of, I would say, is a replacement for Shorakai. I would say like Shorakai is sort of the premium card in Azorius for card draw, especially as commander. I mean, I imagine if we pull up EDH top 16,
it's like Tameshi, Wheeliod, Shorakai. Those are kind of like the main ones that come to mind.
Yeah, blue, white. Let's see.
And there's Plagon, but that was like...
You have to construct a whole deck around Plagon, though.
Yeah. Yeah, like they don't even have Tameshi listed, which I don't know. I kind of feel like is a little bit of a disservice. I understand that it's like based off of statistics, but I feel like it's a little bit of a disservice because I do think Tameshi's cracked. It just depends on the pilot and the meta and that kind of thing. Yeah, and you have to kind of set it up and I think very commander oriented.
This one was set for 6 months, so like it just shows no one's really playing Tameshi anymore. But yeah, I think this card is just better than all these other options. And like you said, Azorius really does struggle to win the game. That being said, so does Rog Ishai. You know, it's just we're just adding Breach. That's really all you get to add to help with winning the game.
Kind of, but like when you add Breach, you also get to add Brain Freeze. Like I'm not playing Brain Freeze because you kind of don't get to do the brain freeze again thing or brain freeze a couple times thing. Like, so it's not like a true win con. Now that said, I'm doing some janky stuff like playing Malcolm's Mercurial Mirth or Tasha's Hideous Laughter as a way to kind of like just, I don't know what the right word is, like kind of just like cuck the table out of nowhere where they're like, yeah, like, because you can do weird stuff where you like go like turn 1 Esper Sentinel, turn 2 like a 0-drop artifact like Jeweled Amulet plus Mopal. Now your Mopal's online. You make your land drop. You have 3 mana, and you just look at the table and the square in the face and say Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Yeah,
and it's like that card doesn't say win the game.
No,
and that card doesn't say Smothering Tithe or Ristic Study. So like people like it's not like an intuition. Like it's not like a card that doesn't win the game but kind of does win the game. Like this is a card that like legit does not win the game. And like I don't know. Think about every deck you've ever played. Like, can you still win if this resolves? Like, sometimes no. Like, sometimes this just hits your Brain Freeze and your whatever dumb split-second deal damage card you play in Ishai. What is that card?
No, my Word of Seizing. My Molten Disaster.
Right. Yeah, you're just like, you just don't have access to Brain Freeze or Molten Disaster anymore. And you're like, guess I don't have any win cons left in my deck. You know, obviously it doesn't do as big of a, like, it doesn't do as much work against the black decks because they get to play the Praetor's Grasp and Mnemonic Betrayal sort of effects. But there's a lot of decks that, like, if this card resolves, they're just gambling. Like, they're taking like a 1 out of 3-ish chance to just not have a way to win at all anymore.
Yep.
And so it's a weird position that it puts the table in. All that said, I think there's a strong chance that, like, when this deck eventually just becomes, like, very popular and good, that there will be people who are like, oh yeah, I don't play the Tasha's Hideous Laughter version.
Don't worry about it.
For me, I feel like it's one of those things where you need to have a bit more win cons in your Azorius deck because you don't have good tutors. Like, or if you do, they're so expensive and like telegraphed and like face
not
up.
worth to play. Yeah.
So
your tutors are card draw. That's basically the idea.
I think the big choke point of this deck is the mana. Like, because you have flash for your card draw in your command zone. So like you always have card draw and it's always at instant speed when you want it most. So you get to just hold up interaction. So what are you missing? Just the mana. Yeah. So if you can establish a Tataru, if you can establish, I mean, obviously Smythe is insane, but like Monologue Tax is a good one. Charitable Levy is another really good one. Like it slows down like the Rouse and the Rog size and the basically everything. And then once someone like cracks the levy, breaks the levy, you get a card out of it and it ramps you a planes into play, which is like, not terrible.
No, not at all.
So I don't know. There's like some opinion that like maybe you should be playing even like really bad cards like Smuggler's Share. But the problem with that card is it only triggers on end step and it's so narrow. Yeah. Don't look at the backside. Don't look at the backside of that command. You're not allowed to peek at the backside. No, we're not. Okay. The one thing I will say, like randomly you can kill someone with combat damage when they forget that it deals 6, like that it has double strike, you know?
Yeah.
Which, I don't know.
Who knows?
I'm sure it'll come up 1 out of 400 games or whatever.
Right. Also, shout out Kitten. I think Kitten's actually a secretly really good mana engine. Being able to like flicker your mana rocks whenever you're casting non-creature spells and net mana from that. It's almost like pseudo Stormkiln Artist in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're on a shitload of mana rocks too, so you have a lot of ability to do some flickering.
Yeah, I purposefully went deep on the mana rocks. Like I'm on Mind Stone, I'm on Felwar Stone and Grim Monolith, and like I was even thinking about maybe Basalt, but like we just don't play any combos. And then what do? I add in a Forensic Gadgeteer just so I can combo a little bit more. It's like, it doesn't feel great. So I felt like Basalt was like maybe a stretch too far. But I'm even on like Jeweled Amulet as another way to go turn 1, land, charge the amulet, turn 2, hold up mana for interaction so we don't die to Ral or whatever, fill in the blank of Turbo
Slash
Deck
my
here.
commander. Yeah,
exactly. And then go around the table if no one tries to jam. And like you can even do the thing where you're like, hey, I have this silence. Please don't jam so we don't die to this person. And then you get to use the silence like 3 times in a turn cycle. You go to the end of the last person's turn and you're like, flash in my commander for value. Like I'm not even going to get a trigger off of it. No one's drawing a card. And they're like, whatever, cool. Like it's almost like, I feel like this commander has like Tymna text on it.
It does.
Not in what it does, but in how little people evaluate its threat level, right? Because Tymna's not a threatening commander until you're in blue farm and you're drawing 3 cards every turn cycle and
even then,
triggering.
Like, am I wasting counter spells or bounce spells on Tymna's?
No.
Like, probably not. No.
You're not. You're like, that's kind of what I'm getting at though, is like, even when it's doing the big scary thing that it can do, it's like, what, you drew a few extra cards? I think with this commander though, once you've played a game or 2 with it in play, like not even as a commander, just like in the, 98 of blue farm or, you know, in somebody else's like slop deck or whatever, you start to realize that this card is actually a lot scarier than Fairy Mastermind and the like. It doesn't seem it's so innocuous, but it just do be doing dumb shit.
I was curious.
I wish we
Delny. It's power.
I wish we could Delny. I thought about it immediately when I saw this commander. I was like, oh, maybe we
cards a turn.
Maybe we reduce the power of my commander. I'm like, nah, you're overcooked, bro. I'm out there just trying to like chef up a sushi dish, just like way overcooked on that one. So.
Yeah.
But I would say so. Like, I probably should have, I guess, organized these into like some.
No, this is perfect. This is mana value. I think this is great.
No, I know, but I just mean like tags of like cards that do the mana thing. But the quick list of like the cards that I feel like people might look at and want to cut, but I'm telling you, please don't cut. Like it's important for the deck. I would say so. Deep Gnome, Terramancer, just like ramping you. Emrakul's Messenger, another way that just ramps you, even though it's not that great. Like it does the thing. Tataru, obviously, we've all come to a conclusion. It's a good card. And then Displacer Kitten doing the mana thing that you're talking about. Obviously, Displacer Kitten also just straight up wins the game with Teferi, which I love.
Absolutely.
Like, I love being able to put a Teferi on the stack and the table's like, they're an Azorius. And you're like, cool. Yeah. Does it resolve? Awesome. I'm going to now play my Ancient Tomb into Grim Monolith, into Kitten, play a 0-drop, start Flicker. Like the game just,
Yeah.
And then Wheeliad can sometimes do the mana thing for you. Like if it's pretty clear, like if you just straight up tell the table, like, listen, I will not put a win attempt on the stack or take an extra turn for the entirety of this turn cycle, like my turn and all the way around through. Like I won't try to win at instant speed. Like you don't need to worry about this Wheeliad. I'm literally doing this so that I can have mana to interact. Like that's it. Yeah. And then we go to the next player's turn. They draw a card. And then as soon as they draw their second card, then I draw a card. So now I've drawn an extra card and I've cost reduced all my things by 2. And it's just like that kind of gets out of control pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then I would say that's all for mana basically there. Although I will say I use a lot of the copy effects like the Clever Personators and the Phyrexian Metamorphs and stuff as mana usually. Like this is going to sound psychotic. I commandeered a Chrome Mox on turn 1 the other game. Like I went turn 1 Esper Sentinel. I went land. I think it was Esper Sentinel. I was like turn 1 Esper Sentinel and then commandeered someone's Chrome Mox. Yeah. Because like, is that important for me if I don't have mana ramp, but I have cards? Like, I'm going to get more cards. Yeah. That's what the whole deck does. The mana is what I really need.
Yeah, that makes sense. One note I had is copy enchantment, I think, is probably good enough.
It for sure. It's in the sideboard. It's like really close to me playing it. And I would cut it for the jank cards. So the jank cards would be in this situation like the Tasha's Hideous Laughter, maybe the Jeweled Amulet, the Wheeliad. Some people don't love subtlety. I personally kind of feel like it's a necessary evil these days. I just think it's very good. Maybe the Baral is another like jank card you could cut.
Sure.
Git Probe is one of those cards where you're like, you're an Azorius. Like, what do you need a Git Probe for? And honestly, it's just 0 mana trigger your commander. So like on your turn, you just play your commander, Git Probe somebody, and now you've drawn 3 total cards per turn because you trigger your commander and all that, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you could cut it for those things. And then I think the other big one you could cut it for, people might not see it this way, but I do think Anvil of Bogarden is like the uncuttable, like cutesy synergy card. It's like the card you need to be playing. Like it's just that good. But I think the other card you could cut is Curse of Verbosity, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a card that I actually haven't played in a game yet, but I kind of just, it like dawned on me the way it works is kind of bonkers. So like me and you are across from each other in a pod, like you're seat 1, I'm seat 4, and then next to you is seat 2 and 3. I just put this on you, and now like, especially if you're in a slot deck, you're going to be drawing multiple cards on your turn. Like if you're in a Timna deck, right? Like you're going to draw at multiple cards in turn. So I'll trigger off you anyways. But every other player, including myself, this card now reads draw 3 cards a turn from me. Because like player 2 goes to attack you. They draw a card. I draw a card. And that's player 2's second card for turn, which means I draw a second card for my turn, which is now my trigger. So now I draw a third card. So like this card reads, I draw 3 and 3, and then I'm back on my turn. I attack you, draw a card, which is then 3. So this card reads draw 9 cards a turn cycle, assuming that you enchant the right person and the players get greedy, which, come on, the players get greedy.
We're all greedy. Yeah.
I mean, we've seen this with Curse of Opulence. Like people just attack into it. Like, because they want the mana or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think copy enchantment, again, just being in slop feels good enough. Other card that you got on here is permission denied. Sudden substitution, I think, is most likely good enough as well.
Yeah. The big thing is because we're so tight on mana, like the game states where I have the mana up to sudden sub is probably the game states where we're so deep into the slop that like it could be a different card, but it is a good card to go over the top of not over the top of the stack, but like to beat the stack, like to beat the interaction. Like it's effectively like a pseudo silence or whatever because of switch second.
Yeah.
There have been times already though where I've wanted to be playing like wipe away as just like a uncounterable way to get something off the board, because there are turn cycles where I'm like, yo, I am about to draw so many cards and someone just put a Smothering Tithe on a stack. I'm like, oh fuck. Like, am I just going to hand them this game? And I can't do anything about it. Like I can't not take the draws off my commander. Like they just happen.
You must draw. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like you said, some of the cutesy cards, right, maybe could go for cards like Copy Enchantment, Sudden Sub. I really like Permission Denied a lot. As soon as the Queen of Dale comes out, it's going in every white deck I have. I mean, this card's just bonkers.
We should probably just say it for anybody who's watching this, like this card is essentially Ledger Shredder, except for instead of Connive, it's the same effect, except for it's not on the second spell that's cast for each turn.
Spell.
It's the first non-creature spell. So essentially this is just could possibly trigger 3 times per player's turn. So you're essentially triggering it 12 times a turn cycle, like which is so stupid. Like so you just make all these 1/1s and draw and discard cards, which in this deck reads a lot of times, and then you draw an extra card, which is super good.
We should build a commander deck with this at the front.
No, we should not.
We'll come back to this.
It's mono white, dude. Like I've been down this road. It is not good. Like,
I know you have.
Dude, I have Delny in the command zone, and I want to build that deck so bad, but
gosh,
you could do a lot of good stuff.
That's nuts. I could see a blue farm come back with that. Anyways,
I was just going to talk about like the win cons real quick. So the way you close this game out is like we talked about at the beginning. You make a bunch of copies of Scrawling Crawler, and it just decimates the table out of nowhere because you just are drawing. Your opponents are drawing so many cards. You're drawing so many cards. Like it's such a good slop card. And then you also can just do the Hullbreaker Horror loops with any of the mana positive rock stuff. You can do the Teferi Kitten loops where you like draw through your whole deck, and almost all of these loops end in you casting an Angel's Grace and drawing the table out through a Fairy Mastermind. Like that's a way to just do this. But also we have the ability to go Fairy Mastermind plus Smothering Tithe and a copy of Fairy Mastermind or a copy of somebody else's Training Grounds or whatever.
Sure.
Because you can mirror mate it.
Smothering Tithe,
Well, no, you can copy someone's Training Grounds also is what I was saying.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You were saying also copy someone's Smothering Tithe or your own.
Right.
So you
just why
double Smothering Tithe or
would be good enough.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking about that, but the thing is like we have Mirror Maid, we have Clever Impersonator, and we have Flash Photography plus the flashback for Flash Photography. So we like have 4-ish ways to do this now. But I don't know. Copy Enchantment is just so rough when you randomly get paired into the like Oops All Jund pod or the like Tyam plus Bridget plus some psychopath that's playing like Mono Black Doomsday or whatever. Like I don't know. So but yeah, you're right. I mean, it is almost always good enough because you can just, at the very least, like pitch it to Force or Commandeer or whatever.
It's to me, it's like a Force multiplier where it's like I have a Rhystic Study. I'm gonna play a Copy Enchantment. If that doesn't get countered, I'm so far ahead that it's really hard to lose those kinds of games. So Anyway, food for thought.
And like my main concept behind playing this deck and like the way I think about it when we're mulliganing is like, I just want to snap Fevin every time. Like I want to snap, keep first 7 if possible. And if I can snap Fevin, then it's like, then I've built the deck right because all the cards are just good enough. And it's just like lands and spells and do the thing and you'll figure out a way to get there like eventually. But in the beginning, we just got to not die to like, turns 1 and 2 or whatever. Psych Rift has been an overperformer. That's not a card I'm normally that high on in general, just because it's like kind of hard to get to resolve. But I think when you overload it, the fact that it doesn't target is just like so important against certain decks. And so you can like make deals with the table where you're like, listen, I'll time walk myself for 2 turns if we let this resolve, or like weird shit like that. Like it doesn't have to be exactly that, but it can be like, I will not progress my board state. All I will do is attack unless someone else is like trying to jam a win again for the next 2 entire turn cycles or whatever, if we let this resolve. Because just having access to that in the deck and other people not being able to blow it out with SWAT and redirect lightning and stuff like that is just so important to like take somebody's like one haymaker piece off the board. Arcane Denial has also just been a card that's like really good. It's just like a 2-mana counter spell
for anything.
With which in this deck is also just more upside too, because then we go to that person's turn. It's insane. You have your commander in play. You counter something on someone's turn that stops them from winning. We go to the next person's turn. That person who you just blew out, of course, wants the 2 cards back because they want to get back in the game. So they draw 2 cards, which triggers your commander because they've drawn 2 cards per turn. So you draw a card. And also Arcane Denial draws you a card on that upkeep.
And then you draw
so that's your
card.
second card. So you draw another card. So Arcane Denial reads, counter someone's spell, go to the next player's turn, you draw 3 cards. And that person who you just blew out, you kind of let them back in the game, which, if we're slopping, is kind of a good thing. Like we want as many of our opponents close to each other at parity. We don't want one opponent who's like, just like doing the thing.
Yeah, you want to keep people feeling like they can win the game.
Yeah, like they need to feel like they're in it so that they're not doing like crazy haymaker, like introducing chaos and like, insanity.
Or just trying to make draws happen.
That's kind of what I mean. Like they're trying, they're not like going for the Hail Mary plays. Instead, they're going for the bit more reasonable plays because you're giving them a chance to still do that.
Totally.
I think Witch Enchanter is just like a pretty powerful card for this deck, like that you just get access to in the mana base. Like sometimes you slop it up enough and then you get to a point in like the mid game where you're like, all right, like I've kind of got this under control.
Heuristic Study.
I've got mana and stuff. And then I'm just like, and uncounterable kill your heuristic study. And they're like, I only play Force of Will, and that's the only thing that could stop this, or hard
and
cast
I have
my
a Displacer Kitten, and I can just flicker this and blow up Wrath.
Well, not exactly. You can flicker it, and then you get mana.
And it becomes a land.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
No, I'm 100% wrong. You are 100% right. You flicker it, and it comes back as a creature. Yeah,
okay.
Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah, it's an MDFC with the creature side as the front side. It's
right.
It's Witch Enchanter on the front side. Sorry. So you can do fucked up Displacer Kitten things. God, that makes it even better.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah. I've also been like doing just like enjoying these really weird Ranger Captain games where I'm like, Ranger Captain, go get a Mockingbird, Ranger Captain, my Ranger Captain, go get an Esper Sentinel, and then like, have to crack one of the Ranger Captains. Then I'm like, okay, cool. Like Clever Impersonator, my Ranger Captain. We're just kind of like, I'm just like holding the guns at the table. Like, So that's been feeling good.
Sweet.
I will also say too, that like, so Disrupting Shoal is great. Misdirection's great. Snapback's great. Like all the free stuff is good. There's a world where like, I've been trying to figure out like, are we supposed to play even more of the free stuff, like lean even heavier into it, but they just get worse and worse as you go.
Foil?
Like Foil. Tidal Bore is another one. It just taps or untaps. It's a blue pitchable. Taps or untaps a creature, I think. So tap or untap target creature, which in our deck doesn't matter so much, but it's the fact that like this is the kind of deck where like it kind of does the Ral thing in the sense where like sometimes you just want to put spells on the stack to trigger other people. Like you're not doing it to flip Ral, you're doing it to trigger other people's heuristics, which in turn draws you a shit ton of cards off your commander, which then gets you back into the game out of nowhere. And this is a good way to like untap somebody else's like mana dork or whatever, and then give them the chance to bail us out, or so that's an option.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's reasonable.
The other card that I think about sometimes is Patrician Scorn, the white one, the instant speed, destroy all enchantments.
Yeah.
It's a little rough because like you're not casting as many white cards in a turn, and we love our enchantments. So
yeah, I think it's reasonable. I was also just going to compare like how does our How does our list compare to something like a Raw Gishai in terms of interaction?
Ooh, was it Sanic? Yeah, I mean, we just don't have access to Flare, the Red and Pyroblast, and SWAT.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're on... Are they on Disrupting Shoal?
Yes. Shoal, Commandeer, Force, Misdirection. Gifts is probably a little too cute. Although... Yeah.
Why don't you just compare them? Like, literally use the compare feature on the...
Sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so I'm not on Gifts. I'm not on Chain of Vapor. The reason why I'm not on Chain of Vapor and I'm just on...
Floodmaw?
Give Frog or Fish or whatever. Yeah.
Give Frog.
Yeah, Give Frog. It's just like... I don't know, like, I don't utilize all the free mana rocks as well as other decks do at, like, instant speed and all the weird, like, I'm not, like, trying to, like, self-combo with it. I mean, you can, and it can, like, start your Hullbreaker loop, and it can start your Blister Kitten loop and whatever, but, like, that's just not enough of a reason to play it, and I think it's just such a liability. I've had so many games where I'm like, God, why does this have to be a Chain of Vapor? Like, if this was any other bounce spell, like, that's part of the reason why I'm on Psych Rift. Like, this is my Psych Rift slot. Yeah. It just kind of feels like a little safer. I know that, which feels weird to say because I'm so used to playing decks that are like not trying to be safe at all. And I'm just trying to like sit on top of the engine and like let the fucking thing go. But like, this is a lot more of like, I'm in my responsible area, you know, like I'm out here, I'm working as a firefighter, I'm saving people's lives, I'm just trying to be responsible, just trying to like do I'm the good guy all of a sudden, you know, I'm not the bad guy.
You get the hero arc.
Yeah, see? Like, this is perfect. Yeah. I got my Boy Scout badge on and everything.
Nice.
But yes, I guess Steel Enchantment and Copy Enchantment would be big ones to consider.
Probably good enough. If we were to cut some of the cute stuff and add in, you know, Steel Enchantment, Copy Enchantment, Sudden Substitution. I totally hear what you're saying. 4 mana, it's pretty expensive.
Like, we can't make mana the way that deck can. Like, we don't have like
Ska,
the same
Curse.
We just you have Ska, Ragavan. You have Curse, and then and Ragavan, and then you also have like the Infernal Plunges and the shit for early mana, whereas I have to like blow my early mana. Like, I have to use my Lotus Petals and stuff to like just like put a Ristic down, whereas it's a little easier for that deck to do it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
who knows? We can.
Sudden Sub is so tough. Like,
it's just such a phenomenally good card.
It's very
nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah. Why don't we stick with where we're at right now? I think again the Counterspell suite looks pretty good. I really like everything. Permission Denied maybe is one card to add eventually.
Yeah, I played it actually. It was in the original version of the list. Cool. I would just get choked on like mana and colors when I wanted.
The pips are hard.
Yeah, it was just like. Caught my hand awkwardly a couple times, and that's not a reason to cut a card. Like, that's such a small sample size. But I'm also trying to like iterate quickly when I'm first playing a deck. Like, I'm purposefully just like try out the cards, play some games, try out some more. Yeah, exactly. Like, cut, make swaps, like do the thing. And I have like a core 90 cards or 92 cards or something like that here.
Sure.
I guess what I would say is I think some immediate switches, like if I was just going to give this to somebody and be like, watch this video, play the deck, tell me how you do in a tournament kind of thing. Like, if I was going to give it to you and just be like, yeah, go like smush a bunch of people in a bronze or whatever, I would say for sure you can cut I would say probably the Tasha's is like one of the more cutesy cards. And I guess I would probably say the Curse of Verbosity just because it's untested.
Yeah, like I really like it. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah,
I do too. I think it does exactly what we want to do. But I think, like, imagine if instead it was like just a Copy Enchantment or a Steel Enchantment, and now all of a sudden it's like you could just have access to somebody else's Curse of Opulence or access, like you can copy their Curse of Opulence or you can steal their Tithe or get a copy of Tithe. Like, I think that makes it worth it. To make those cuts.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. Okay. So some notable exclusions. I'm not on Flare of Blue because you just don't really have a blue creature that you. Yeah. It's like, what are the actual blue creatures? Because it's important to remember that your Mockingbird is almost never blue and your Emrakul's Messenger is devoid. So it's like Fairy Mastermind, which you never want to sack because you kind of want to use it to win the game and stuff. And then like Baral, Wan Shi Tong, and then what? Displacer Kit and Hullbreaker Horror, like those don't count. Like, you're never like putting those down to then use them to flare.
This one's kind of fun because you can like subtlety a creature in the middle of a stack battle, and then you can
and then also flare
ETB flare it. Yeah, but I mean that
is good. No, that's a good interaction. It's important to be aware of those things.
Yeah,
but yeah, we just don't have any other ways to like really do. Like, listen, I was originally on Academy Rector, like old grandma that dies and gets enchantments, and I just love that card. So if it was if I could just play my cutesy shit, I would put a Dubscape in this deck, and I would also I would put Opulence or whatever that enchantment is that turns everything into an enchantment. Like all permanents are enchantments, whatever that enchantment is. And then I would play Aura Thief and Academy Rector and a Supreme Verdict, so that I can assemble Exodia and just put those two creatures in play, put a Supreme Verdict on the stack, and just stare at the table and be like, "You guys want to give me your shit? Like,
give me everything, please."
Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like it would be fun to like reach in my pit like Molly Shannon, but I also feel like it doesn't really like benefit what the deck's trying to do. Like it's better to
it's just you'd have to play so much with it. Yeah, you'd have to build around it. It's non-synergistic. The green and the black cards necessary for sacrificing things as like additional costs aren't available.
Right. Or red. Like red has like Infernal Plunge and like some of that shit too.
Yeah.
I would say a card, like some cards that are like worth thinking about is like Solitude is just a free pitchable interaction card that I feel like just doesn't see enough play.
Yeah.
Lauren, I actually love the idea of, just because it ETBs, kills something that's problematic. It's a pretty good attacker, and it draws you so many more cards than it ever will for anybody else. Sure. So it's like kind of fun, and like it just does weird shit. Sunscour was just another
this card. I mean,
it's just a great card to just be like, okay, I'm like fully tapped out
the board.
And just wrath everything. Savines is also another cool one. I was using more or less as like a true like fair recursion piece, and that was it. Like. And it's kind of ramp too. Like you can just like fetch land, play Savines, get another fetch land, and now like on the next turn cycle, you can flashback Savines and go double fetch land. Like that's kind of nice.
Sure.
And then the Dranith, I feel like is just a metagame call, like depending on if you think it's good enough or not. And then stack species in general, I just think are bad. Lavinia is under that same exact guise. Like stack species are just bad. Grand Abolisher and Voice of Victory are both very close, but we're not really trying to be scary, and I don't want anybody copying a Grand Abolisher or Voice of Victory and then actually being able to win the game, because coffee's for closers and I don't know how to close. So because we're decaffeinated, like I kind of feel like it's important to just like not introduce a Grand Abolisher to the game if we can avoid it.
Well, and you're also winning at flash speed a lot of the time, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, yes, but it's usually like through like a Fairy Mastermind once I've already like, I don't know, like drank everybody's tears kind of thing. Like we just like stopped everything and everybody's like gassed out completely. And then I'm like, overload or a Psych Rift, go to my turn, like play some stuff, Mastermind, do the thing. Like some of the fun cards that I kind of feel like are maybe actually worth playing. Rest in Peace is like actually probably worth like truly considering testing out. Sure. It's like one of the few like stacks pieces that like doesn't do shit to us at all.
Yeah.
And it is so good against the format. Like even against like the green decks, it's good because now they have those stupid flashback Corticalling cards out of the graveyard, and they have like endurance loops and noxious revival bullshit and like just all the stuff you can kind of like recur in green. And then obviously like it really fucks up black and red decks. So it also just stops death triggers, like, you know, like the aristocrat, like pinger, weird, like shit like that.
Sure.
Yeah. Trouble in Pairs is good, although it doesn't give you mana. So it's like a more expensive, harder to cast heuristic study kind of. And like that's, I find that like that's not really what we're needing. Like,
you do have card draw relatively solved.
Yeah. And then like Curse Totem is cool, but we're trying to loop Mastermind stuff and it stops Wheeliod, kind of a nombo. I don't know. But the Vision Skeins and the Word of Wisdom, those are more or less the same card. They're like slightly different. They're both, those are Wheeliod classics. And those cards are sick because they're instants. So like you can be like in a stack battle and like someone is like not, there's no Ristic, there's no triggers or whatever. And you can just be like, Vision Skeins, like give my 3 players that I'm playing against 2 extra cards. Only one of them's my opponent in this moment. The other 2 are on my team to stop this person from winning. So I just drew effectively like 2 cards to that player, 2 cards to that player, 2 cards to me. Now I draw an extra card, then I draw 1 extra card for each of them. So for me, it's 5 cards for 2 mana at instant speed. And collectively 4 extra cards for my temporary allies. Like, it's a good rate when you think about it like that.
It's also not a counterspell. So you're like, I might not be able to like help right now, but I can cast this spell. I'll draw 5 cards or 7. No, 5. So I'll draw 6 cards, and then you guys can all draw some cards, and you'll find more answers.
Well, is it? Oh no, it is 6 because you also draw from the like scary player. Yeah, you're right.
It's crazy.
It's not 5, it's 6.
2 mana draw 6.
Dude, Hollow Bread be rising, man. You just put it in the oven. Just let it.
Yeah.
So I feel no, that's the wrong one.
Smothering tithe.
Yeah, dude, did you see that? That's
I did.
Like, I was like doing some research on Hala unrelated to the deck, and
Nice.
that's what it said. It was like the word Hala originally referred to a specific portion of dough separated as a tithe in biblical times. And in my mind, I was like, smothering tithe. You fucking idiot! Like,
banger.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like some of those are like the cutesy cards to think about.
Sure.
Apple of Eden is a good one, but it's sorcery speed. And then Unagi is like, it's just like you're already doing that thing so many times over with so many different cards in the deck that like, who cares? I feel like Avid Mind Sensor is a great card to play. And I thought about playing the other bird that counterspells people and fucks their shit up.
Even Interrupter.
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of actually, I think we might, for Kitten specifically, like Even Interrupter ETBs, and you can flicker it with Kitten. So no, I don't hate it. Yeah.
It's just like a cool interactive piece. It plays into the like, I'm holding up flash speed mana stuff. Like a lot of times I've had people be like, I don't even say anything. And they're like, so-and-so's doing this, so-and-so's doing that. King T'Challa is like holding up their mana for their commander. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like in reality, I've got like devious plans back here. But like, that's what it looks like, right? I'm just like holding up my mana so that as soon as someone puts their second draw on the stack, I'm going to flash it in and I get value, which a lot of times, to be fair, that is what I'm doing. But like, there's a bunch of other times where I'm like, no, I'm going to do this thing. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like this deck you
got options.
So boring to explain also by comparison to other decks I've built. Because it's just so
counterspells,
like
card draw, mana.
Removal, counterspells, card draw, mana. Like you're just that's
literally.
Oh, I guess Blind Obedience is the other win condition in the deck.
Yes.
It beats the One Ring, and it also beats if you like
Angel's Grace.
Yeah, it does also beat Angel's Grace. Yeah, because especially in this deck, there's plenty of ways where you can like get your own commander back into your hand, and then in the cleanup phase, discard it to hand size, creating a state-based action, and blah blah blah. So
yeah. Well, I believe Blind Obedience beats Angel's Grace on any turn because it says Angel's Grace says damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1, reduces it to 1 instead, and Blind Obedience is extort text is loss of life.
You make them lose to 0 life, but the thing is that if you can't, because Angel's Grace says until end of turn, so
you can't take a trigger. Yeah, if you can't.
No, it's not a trigger. It's not trigger. It's if you can't have state-based actions be checked. So that's why you get into that weird situation where people put their commander into their hand and then discard it to hand size, because in order to move it from the command or from the graveyard to the command zone, that's a state-based action check. And when that check happens, it also checks and just looks around and is like, hey, is anybody fucking dead? And then like your one opponent who Angel's Grace, like a doofus, is like, yeah, I'm actually dead. And you're like, cool, I win. So, and you never have to actually go to the next turn. This is like so specific for like cEDH, like tournament play. But yeah, I mean, it comes up.
It's impactful. Yeah, no, it's important. Yeah. Well, I think most of the deck is pretty, I mean, like you said, it's pretty boring and it's pretty self-explanatory. You picked out the fun cards and the things that are like, oh, does something cool. Like, this is something cool. Why don't we look at mulligans and kind of evaluate what hands in the blind would look like? Oh,
another card that is you're able to cut if you just don't like it for your metagame or whatever is Weathered Runestone. And I think that's the slot you would swap for Rest in Peace if you were going to.
Just pull that one up so people know. Weathered Runestone, 2 colorless. Non-land permanent cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. So turns off all green tutors, turns off Sisay, turns off Magda,
Breach Lines.
Breach Lines. Yeah, I actually really love this card. I think this card does quite a bit of work. I wanted to talk to you guys real quick about some tournaments that we're going to be going to in the very near future. Some of you may remember an 11-hour game of cEDH that took place a little over a year ago. This happened in Provo, Utah, and now we're back for round 2. Although I probably can't promise an 11-hour game again, you never know. We're going to have Yaps Giving. This is going to be November 7th and 8th in Utah, Provo. If you are in the area, if you're somewhere nearby, if you're on the East Coast, if you're in Europe, come to this event. Utah is the place for cEDH. They have some of the best players and people that I've been honored to play with in this game so far. If you register before September 8th, you can claim this spot at this tournament for just $100. After that, the price will increase. So if you want to check out this event, check out Yaps Giving, links below. I'll be there playing some cEDH and seeing if we can break that 11-hour record. Talk about a keepable hand.
Wow. Yeah, this is a Trinact.
It's a banger right
there.
Oh,
yeah. Even with another... Well, yeah, I don't think you... Oh, yeah, you do draw that for turn. Yeah.
Yeah. Turn 1.
Did you just draw a random card?
Turn 2.
Yeah, I think you've... Oh, no,
yeah,
you're right.
I should have... Yeah, 9 cards? Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, so turn 1, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet was next draw. Turn 2, land, Signet, and then you can either cast your Taru, or you can hold up mana for King T'Challa.
Yeah, I think in this situation, like, it depends on the pod, obviously, and turn order, but like, if you don't have something that's like imminent death, scary coming, that you also think you can't beat with a Force of Negation, because you have the Force of Negation also. You just slam the Taru. Yeah. And then you play the longer game, because once you have a mana engine like that going, like, you're just so solid.
Yeah. The other fun thing with the Taru is, this is our, well, I guess you just get a Ristic Study, but having Kitten is also pretty cool with the Taru, because it ramps you and it draws you a card. So every non-creature spell I cast, I draw a card.
But it also draws your opponent's cards, so you just keep picking different players, and then you get every King T'Challa trigger available in that turn cycle also.
Yeah.
Super fucked up.
Turn 3, if we didn't want to cast Ristic, which we probably do, you can cast...
I actually don't know if you do cast Ristic. It depends on the pod, but like, this is a situation where maybe you just don't, because it's like...
busted.
Yeah. It's pretty bonkers.
Draw some cards. Yeah, it's just a great hand. So that's a good example of being able to snap keep 7s. And this is another example of being able to snap keep 7s potentially, right? If you want to brawl
this is because I mean, you can just go turn 1 Springleaf Drum, turn 2 Baral, being able to hold up an extra mana, or you can go the other route of, if you want to keep the Brawl in hand for the Commandeer, then you play out the Mind Stone, and it's the same kind of effective mana going into your third turn.
Yeah. Well, we can do this.
I don't know if I would do that, because you have to pitch a land or a Ristic Study to the Commandeer.
Or Teferi, yeah. Whichever.
No, you have to pitch 2, so.
Yeah, Seagate Teferi.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. I think...
Who knows? Yeah, it's situational for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, either way. So you get to steal somebody else's really powerful thing. Hopefully it's a mana thing. If not, then it's a card draw thing. And then you get to slam your Ristic on the following turn while having a cost reducer, which is kind of random. Like, it comes up every once in a while, like it makes your Cyclonic Rift cost 1 or whatever.
Arcane Denial, days, 1 mana days. Yeah, I guess. If you don't want to do it. This is probably too slow, just 2 lands, no white colors, no white pits.
For me, this would be very much so like a pod dependent hand. This is one of those like super sandbag 4th seat, I'm going to force a draw kind of hands, which I don't love, but like, sometimes you're in a pod with a Rogue Sign, a Ral, and you're like, no, you guys are getting fucked this game, and if I can dumpster you, then we can make it to turn 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And eventually I'll draw out of it, decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see second 7 on that one.
Bang.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, it's a little awkward, right? Having the Saga, because we usually want to play Saga as early as possible, but Esper is probably too good not to play.
Yeah, you turn 1 Esper, and then depending on what you draw in your upkeep, you can Enlighten Tutor for lots of different things, whether it's mana in the form of Monologue Tax, Smothering Tithe, whatever, or you can go the other route. You can also just I guess it depends on how you want to play it, but you can just get more card draw, like if you just want to be flush with cards.
Yeah.
So,
need tutoring for something. You could, yeah. Okay, that's an okay hand. Let's look at a 6 if we weren't going to keep that. No mana. 1 piece of permanent mana right now that's playable.
I probably wouldn't keep this. I'd probably go to 5.
Yeah.
Random no lander. Hell yeah.
4.
So this is 4. What's crazy about this deck though is you can keep 4s that just have mana because you have card draw in the Command Zone.
Totally. Yep. This is like turn 2 King T on 4.
Yeah. This is guaranteed turn 2 King T.
Yeah. I don't hate it. And see how we draw it. So you draw, boom, 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 bada boop pop, pow. Turn 2. Turn 2, I wish we could play Relic, but we just flash into our King T. Maybe we draw a card, and then we counter it.
Yep.
Go to turn 3. Oh, I love a good Esper
mana. Now we have card draw mana, do the thing. Like,
yeah. Now you're just sitting. You're just sitting here drawing cards.
The deck comes back from that game I was telling you about where I commandeered a Chromox. I went down to 1 card in hand, and then by the time I got back to my turn and started playing again, I passed the turn and I had 6 cards in hand again. I'm like, wait, what does that you just draw back out of it so easily.
Yeah. This is, I would say, if you're newer to cEDH, or if you're like, oh, I want to play Raw Gishai, but it feels really complicated, and I feel like I'm more,
or you don't understand breach lines and shit.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, this is like I would say this is like, this is just how to draw a crap load of cards and counter a bunch of stuff. And it's like a fun way to play the game.
Yeah,
for
there's no
us,
way
not
what
for
I'm
our
about
opponents.
to say will make it into the final video, but I feel like this deck is Rog Ishai for artistic people. So like you just
Yep.
you just have the ability to be a little slower and a little dumber and a little like you just don't like, or you just don't have experience. Like maybe you just don't have experience with like a lot of the format and stuff. That's probably a better way to say it. That's less mean and rude for no reason.
Cancelable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this hand. I think this is a no land hand I would absolutely keep. We're one blue card away from Commandeer. We have a turn 1 Esper Sentinel with 3 mana. Turn 2 King T'Challa. If we get 1 more mana, like, let's see how we draw out. So,
that's insane.
Mobile, Mamber, Chromox. All right, Chromox.
You definitely play the Chromox first, to be fair. But yeah,
sure. Oh, well, yeah, sure. You think you're getting mind break trapped?
Well, dude, if anyone looks at that and they have a juicy mind break trap, they just turned off 2 to 3 of your pieces of mana.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they blow out the Chromox, because then the Mopole's offline and they know you can't cast anything to turn your Mamber on, right? Like,
let's sequence like a smart Magic player. So if we Chromox, it's a little awkward, right? Because getting rid of Ranger kind of sucks, because we could get Ranger into Mockingbird and then have double Esper Sentinel.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean,
I think you draw more blue cards.
Yeah. I think you put the Teferi underneath it, yeah.
Yeah, the Teferi. Okay. So either, it's Teferi, maybe the Pact of Negation too is another option. But Teferi is not going to be used for a long time.
Right. I would put the Teferi underneath it because it just also, this is your only like guaranteed mana source, and now it is a Tundra, so like that's good.
Yep. Into Esper, then Mopole Mamber, or Mamber Mopole maybe. Yeah. Then we'll draw a card, go to next turn. Sweet. Commandeer's online. We're
also, if somebody decides to like do some weird thing where they like, you pass the turn, they play an Esper, and then on the next person's turn they cast a spell, and then there's like a little bit of like an exchange, or someone tries to like a Ral deck tries to like draw 2, discard a card, like shit like that. Like you do kind of get into these like weird situations where you're like, okay, I just drew like randomly a couple extra cards, and then you go to your turn and now you're like flush. Like absolutely. You can't expect that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to hold up a King T'Challa here just so I can turn my Mamber on, and then turn 3 I get to go Ranger Esper, and that's pretty good. So turn 1 I have Esper, turn 2 I have King T'Challa.
Yeah, so just draw 2 cards because you're probably going to get one off an Esper and probably off the King T'Challa. Yeah, and then that's really solid because now you're making your land drops, you get to Ranger Captain, you get to hold up more interaction, and Mockingbird your fucking thing. Yeah.
So,
I also have found that I've been Mockingbirding like people's Birds of Paradise and shit just because we play Valley Floodcaller. Like I'm just like, that's a really good target for me. Like I need the mana, and
maybe it'll be just an insane mana engine later. Yeah.
So, okay, on that note, really quick, I'm curious your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, oh, man, it's insane that I can't think of it. Okay, I just want to say for the record, I've been working for the past 48 straight hours. I just came off work this morning, okay?
Nice.
I've yet to sleep. It's all caffeine and fumes here, baby. So the fact that I can't think of the name of these cards is pissing me off because they're blue.
Just give me hints.
They're blue, 1-drop instants. They combo with Valley Floodcaller. That's bounce a thing. You don't have to necessarily target your own thing. You can target somebody else's thing. It's like
Traction Helix and Banishing Knack.
I was going to call it Benjamin Needs a Nap. So
Benjamin,
that's perfect.
Benjamin Nap.
Yeah. Benjamin Netanyahu, if you're listening, Zach Adler has weapons of mass destruction.
Please cancel me, YouTube.
Benjamin Netanyahu. No, yeah, I think these are cool, right? Like, and I think like the loops and stuff you can do with them are cool, but they lean pretty hard into, well, VFCs. I don't know. There's a lot of like pros and cons to these too, because like even on their floor, you can do such crazy things. Like I'm talking floor. You got blown out and you have no permanence in play except for mana. You can still cast this on one of your opponent's creatures as pseudo interaction, like which is awesome. It's so good to do. Like, do you play these in Jeskai Slop Piggy Oink Oink?
No, but I do love Jeskai Slop Piggy Oink Oink. Yeah, I actually think it's it's pretty reasonable because it's like I always have a turn 1 creature, right? So that means that these spells are online like really quickly and very often, and then the VFC combo is just there already. So I think that there's a pretty reasonable chance you could say, yeah, I'll play this card.
I was gonna say there's a world where I play these over other interaction pieces, like you know what I mean? Like I play this over and Into the Floodmaw, like obviously Into the Floodmaw better, but like the fact that this also lets you just win the game sometimes is pretty sick. And like it is Azorius. It is kind of hard to find like windows to win the game. So
yeah. And yeah, it's like the downside of these is that versus something like a Chain of Vapor, for example, right? Like let's say that, you know, we're in an end step and someone develops Seedborn Muse, even though no one plays Seedborn Muse anymore. And I go to Chain of Vapor, their Seedborn Muse, or Floodmaw, their Seedborn Muse. That has to be beaten by a counterspell or like a redirect spell. Banish Knack can also be beaten by bounce or kill spells. So if I knack my own creature and they happen to have an Into the Floodmaw of their own, they can bounce my creature in response to the knack cast and then invalidate what this does. But
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, and I feel like that's not just a fringe point. I feel like that's actually like a very considerable point because how many times do you have a snapback in your hand, but you don't have a Force of Negation or what a Force of Will or whatever? Like, it's common that you're going to run into those situations. I think
they should be tested. I think they should be tested. That's the best way to know, right?
So I think those are cards I'll put in the. Actually, I'll do that while we're talking. I'm going to put those in the sideboard.
All right, this hand we have only 2 permanent mana. It's a little awkward. We can develop Fairy Mastermind, but then we're down to 1 mana. I think I'd probably mull this hand. It's just a little bit too mana light for my tastes. So we'll go second 7.
Yeah, I think on first 7 that makes sense, especially because like it is nice that it's an all blue hand and you have essentially 2 counter spells and a way to just develop extra cards at flash speed too. And then you have a quote unquote end game once you get those cards and start to get to go to turns 2, 3, 4 in the form of Mirror Maid and Flash Photography. But yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. I think on a first 7 you send this back. I think if you're in like a pod that you know for a fact is going to draw cards, like let's say you're in first seat and then seat 2 is like a deck that mulligans for Rhystic Study kind of thing, and then you're into like some spell slinging decks or decks that you know are going to trigger their Rhystic, then like maybe, but you can get such better. You get such better 7s and 6s.
Agreed. Yeah, so let's go second 7. See, so much better.
Yeah,
you have to lead on fish, which I don't love to do generally.
No, but you have the ability to pay for it in the next turn cycle.
Totally.
So they can't even starve you on it.
And then you can go into Anvil, or you can go into your commander, into a Get Probe and draw some cards. You have a way to copy high-value targets, right? You have a way to copy any high-value target if you can get some mana. So sometimes you have fish hands that are temporary fish hands. It's like, well, I might have this fish for a little while, but it doesn't need to stay for the whole game. So draw some cards. Maybe I pay for fish. If I don't pay for fish, then I get to go like doop Anvil of Beaugarden, you know?
I never play this without the commander already in play. That is one thing I will say. Like or a way to flash it in, because it's so scary. Because what happens if someone like, I don't know, you go to somebody's turn and they just go Dark Ritual Necro for 20 pass, and they just
keep
get
my whole hand
27 guards in hand or whatever, you know, or 25 or however many they had. Like that's a scary like downside to this card. Whereas if you have your commander out, things very much so change. Like you draw so many cards in that turn cycle that like you kind of get to a point where like, sure, yeah, you can Necro for 25 with no real mana in play, and I'm probably going to be able to work with the table and with all the cards in my hand and still be able to beat it. So
yeah.
This deck has 2 ways to have no hand size in Seagate Restoration and Anvil, and like they do actually come up randomly.
Yeah, especially if you get to Tithe, right? Which is really probably a pretty big goal of the deck. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No lands, but a Commandeer. Probably don't keep this on a first 7.
Commandeer in a dream, baby.
Yeah. Give me your Rhystic Study, sir.
Yeah, you just have to hope that somebody else just goes like, I'm going all in on this Tithe, turn 1. And you're like,
exactly. Right. You're like, me too. Me too.
I am out of this game if this does not resolve.
On the plus side, if you do Commandeer turn 1 Tithe and they're in first seat, then you get to go turn 1 Windfall.
Yeah,
if you're in fourth seat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think you misspoke. What I heard you say was turn 1 Windfall, but what I think you meant was turn one Slimer's Feast. Is that
Slimer's Feast? My apologies. My apologies.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Yeah.
I mean, frankly, we probably were both mispronouncing it. It really should just be turn one, win the game, because if you fall into a smothering tide, the game ends. So
I think we should just play this out, just for testing purposes. So we'll keep this hand. Seat 1, we're in seat 4. Seat 1 goes turn 1 tithe. We commandeer it. They complain, they whine, they say, "But Raoul's going on next. Like, we're not going to be able to stop them. I'm here to help the table." And you're like, "No, I'm commandeering your tithe." So you commandeer the tithe. You go to your turn. You draw for turn. Nice, a little Chromox action.
So now we have 1 treasure off the Raoul, 1 treasure off the next player, and then we have now 2 treasures plus a Chromox.
Yeah, because we knew we would draw Chromox or a land. Like, we just had that locked in. Yeah. And then we Windfall. Yep.
And let's say someone has 6 in hand.
Yep. So we'll discard.
Even if it was 5 in hand, I mean, we make 15 treasures, draw 5. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. So, we'll say it's
now
6.
we get to hold up interaction and King T'Challa for the rest of the game. Infinite mana. Like,
well, why win the game when I gotta just do this?
I don't want to win, okay? I want to draw a card. I want to make a treasure.
Get probe into our win?
Obviously.
No? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
We won. There we go. We can just activate the bottom ability that's so impactful and
super
very
impactful.
Good ability. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we have infinite abilities to the beginning of our end step. Exile one other target non-land permanent I control and then return that card. So, yeah. Okay. And then maybe we draw a card from King T'Challa. We go to our next turn, and we still can't win, but we play Teferi.
See, what's so realistic about this is
draw or win.
Many of my games look like this, where I'm just like, the table's like, we can't let him have mana and cards. And I'm like, why not?
Why?
I can't
what
win
are you
the
afraid
game.
Of?
Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I'm just the police. Like, that's it. Like,
just the police. You will respect my authority.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not even a cop with a gun, dude. I'm like a British cop who's like, stop, or I'll say stop again. Like, there's just no more.
I'll get my bully stick out. Don't make me do that.
Yeah, it's horrible. I will say too, I do really like the Surveil land in this deck, just because
ask about that.
It's like slow enough, and like sometimes you're just like turn 1 fetch Surveil into turn 2, like play out some mana that you wouldn't have found in the appropriate order, kind of thing. Like, it just like makes your it smooths out a lot of those draws. But the big thing it does is with cards like Charitable Levy was the card that I immediately remembered the name of. With cards like that, it lets you just put that planes into play, which then gives you a Surveil trigger after you've drawn a card. So you get to like draw a card, Surveil trigger, and then that triggers your King T'Challa a lot of times. So it's like draw, Surveil, draw. Like, you get to like do cool shit like that. So
we're on Meticulous Archive for Charitable Levy, right?
That's like the reason, basically.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
I think if you're not on Charitable Levy in the deck, like, there's a real world you could cut it. Yeah. You do need as many fetchable targets, though, as possible in this deck.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you run Deep Gnome Terramancer that, like, yoinks the planes out of your deck. And so you kind of...
How many planes are we on? 4? 3? 4?
Well, we're on Tundra, Hollowed Fountain, Plains, and Meticulous Archive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I don't know. I thought about maybe putting a Snow-Covered Plains in, because I am on Island and... I am on Snow-Covered Plains.
You are, yeah,
5.
Yeah. That's pretty good for a little Deep Gnome action.
Yeah, I think that's good enough. Like,
yeah.
I hate how casual that card is. I wish there were more Tataru-esque cards.
I know. I totally agree. With you. Yeah.
Oh, this is so close.
Is awkward though. Yeah.
That was another thing we didn't talk about is Bender's Waterskin. So Bender's Waterskin is like truly just one of the best cards in the deck. Like, it's so bonkers to just like
hold up a counter spell every
mini Seedborn around the table as you're also drawing extra cards. Like, there's many games where I'm like, part of my game plan is like, I'm gonna find a Phyrexian Metamorph for my Bender's Waterskin, and then I'm gonna find a fucking Mirror Maid for my Bender's Waterskin, and I'm gonna find a Flash Photography and a Clever, and I'm gonna build my own Seedborn like over the course of a game, like, because I've just drawn so many cards and I can't find a tithe, and nobody else has a tithe for me to copy or whatever. Then I'm just like, cool, I'm just gonna do the next best thing. Like, yeah. So
powerful. And then you find your Flash Enabler and you can start flashing things in. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense. Cool. All right. So we'll mull this first 7, second 7.
This is very reasonable. I would keep this in.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because it has free interaction, lands, free interaction, and mana. And the mana you get to hold up at instant speed. So you could also just hard cast the snapback if, you know what I mean? Like if you get into like a weird spot where you run out of cards in hand to pitch and you need to like Disrupting Shoal or you need to Force of Will pitching, like you need to Force of Will pitching the Seagate and you need to Disrupting Shoal pitching whatever the other card is that you've drawn over the course of the next like turn cycle or whatever. That also allows you to then actually just hard cast the snapback. And if you don't go that route, then you get to just play the Deep Gnome Terramancer. So like you kind of get like so many options. And the flash like payoff, if you want to call it that, or like the your big game plan, which is Deep Gnome, is just mana. And that's what we've been talking about, that's the whole thing the deck wants. Because if you do that on turn 2, where you go like, you know, turn 1 island into turn 1 island, turn 2 plains into Deep Gnome. Well, if you do it that way, you can. Yeah, there you go. You deep gnome, carry the 2. Yeah, you deep gnome. Then you get to, you know, put a Meticulous Archive onto the battlefield. You get to surveil that top card off the top. And let's say I would actually probably keep that on top, by the way.
Well, we have 2 other lands though.
Well, yeah, but you're probably pitching the Seagate to like a Disrupting Shoal or a Force or a Snapback over the course of the first 2 turn cycles at some point. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really matter what you keep there. Because then the next part of the game plan is Ancient Tomb into being able to just cast King T'Challa while holding up like 3 to 4 more mana. Like,
I hold up hard cast Daze, I hold up Forcible, and I hold up Disrupting Shoal.
Yeah. It's just you have so many options, and you're likely going to get another Deep Gnome trigger too around somewhere, you know.
Yeah, and then you're just still not winning the game.
Yeah, which is the point. Like we don't want to listen. We don't want to go too soon. We don't want to go too quickly.
We want to wait till a nice turn, like 7, turn 8 maybe.
I don't know. Fairy Mastermind probably gets you there way quicker, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. I want to do one more. Wow. I think I'd. It's a toughie. It's only 2 mana, but the potential for a Smothering Tithe is so
yeah.
Because it could be it's turn 1 here, right?
Yeah. Well,
hold up Swan Song.
Turn maybe, 2, but you also
draw
could
my land.
Yeah.
But then we copy a Birds of Paradise on turn 2, and then on turn 3, we cast our Smothering Tithe.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Make our mana. Cast King T'Challa at flash speed. Draw a card. Hard cast Force of Negation. Stop something. Go to our next turn. Saga, Relic, and then bang! Phyrexian Metamorph. Copy Hullbreaker Horror, and then I cast the Relic of Legends. And then
why are you picking cards that win games, dude? Don't let's be real. We are copying a Remora or something, or you know, I guess we can't. We're copying someone's value Timna, and then we're attacking with King T'Challa just to get 1 extra draw, which turns into 2. Like,
oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay. One more serious hand.
Okay, yeah. All right, hold on. Put on my serious glasses for this one.
Okay.
All right, we're ready to rock. Let's go.
No.
Yeah.
No. Cycles up. Yeah. No.
That's so close.
No.
It sucks that you would have to pitch the Ancient Tomb too.
Yeah, you only have 2 mana. 6. Bang! Turn 1 Rhystic Study, or turn 2 Rhystic Study with Commandeer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. With Commandeer. Actually, no, this is a oh no, it's not. Damn, this was almost a turn 1 Rhystic Study anyways, because of the Fellow Stone.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Yikes,
Study,
bikes.
Draw some cards, Commandeer someone else's thing, so he get destroyed.
We also just have so much mana because of the Crib Monolith too.
know.
Jesus. Then we just slam Wheeliod and immediately turn it over.
We go because of into Wheeliod, you think?
Yeah.
No, you need 3 mana, don't you? Yeah, you need 3 mana. This is a great hand though. This is what I'm saying. Like this deck is Rogish, but you don't have to you don't have to death mole into Rhystic. You just are like, I'll just have a mana hand and I'll put a King T'Challa out and actually have, counter spells. Like I have disruptive pieces.
Like board-based interaction. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I think if you cut some of the more cutesy cards too, for some of the stuff we've been talking about, like the copy enchantment, steal enchantment and stuff, maybe you increase consistency in your games. But you could also just go the other route too, right? You could cut some of those cutesy cards and instead add in like Idyllic Tutor and Intuition or Gifts Ungiven or something. You know what I mean? Like you could just or what the fuck is that card? Dizzy Spell. Like you could add in tutors that just find you your thing that are a bit more expensive. It's just
I don't hate
we don't
Dizzy
have a lot
Spell.
of we just don't have a lot of mana to spare is like the main problem.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you can't really discard Angel's Grace. Can you win without Angel's Grace? Oh, you have time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can win without Angel's Grace because we have Blind Obedience also and Scrawling Crawlers.
I can either flash Photography on something turn 2, or I can King T. Pretty hot.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, so far, I mean, it's the mulligan consistency is there.
Yeah. You get a lot of Fevins in the deck, which is cool. And like, I don't know, just like do snap Fevin. I actually changed my name from Holden Prio in the Top Deck app, like in the leaderboard thing or whatever. I changed it to Snap Fevin. So
Snap Fevin.
I just out here snapping Fevin. It's a Snap Fevin and then in brackets slop. Like just we've gotten to that point.
We are in our responsible arc.
Yeah. In our response pants.
Responses pants. Okay. Anything else we want to talk about before we call it a video? Oh, actually, I did have some ideas as other cards to add in.
Yeah, like Ledger Shredder type shit. Like you could do those kinds of things too if you want to.
I'm also thinking Gilded Drake and Storm Drake might be pretty good.
Yeah, I could see that. Like just like really hard to counter, like threatening things that like a lot of times the table helps you resolve them too.
Yeah, you're like, let me just take this Magda, right? Like I'm here to, make sure we don't lose. And then bang, Scrawling Crawler. And bang, Weatherwood Stone. Bang.
It's always bad when your bang off Magda is Scrawling Crawler.
You guys, I promise. Not a big deal. I promise.
Yeah. It's like just not good at all.
Esper Sentinel? Activate Magda for Esper Sentinel?
Yeah. No, but you're right. Like being able to like steal stuff, I think just is like a good call.
Yeah.
The Commandeer and like all that sort of stuff is good. I'm going to make some edits, honestly, to the deck. I think like taking out some of the more cutesy stuff, but
sweet. Fuck yeah. Or heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Oh yeah. All right. Do you care? Is there any way that we can do an absolutely shameless like plug or shout out where I ask people to subscribe to my YouTube channel? Because I literally need like 14 subscribers.
Yes.
Okay.
You need 14 to monetize?
Yes. All right. Listen, this is my shameless plug to all of you on the internet. Okay. Listen, I need like, I don't even know, 14 or like 16 subscribers on my fucking YouTube channel. Okay. And then I can actually monetize my YouTube channel, which is dope. Like, and it would be awesome to be able to get there. And if we get there, which let me rephrase that. When we get there, thanks to all of you watching this really great video. Thank you, by the way. Namaste. When we get there, it will trigger an event that I've set into motion for quite a while. Okay, listen.
We've got a preview coming.
Yeah, no. A while ago, I put a post up that I was like, if we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away this One Ring. It's like a borderless non-foil One Ring. And that's still a thing. Like, that hasn't gone away. So you can check my posts on YouTube under the cEDH MTG YouTube channel. Just go like the post and comment on it and subscribe. And then when we hit 1,000, I'll make a video. I'll do like a randomized drawing. Yeah, you.
If you subscribed, you will get a One Ring.
You, viewer at home.
You know who you know who you are.
You get a One Ring.
You get a One Ring. You get a one. Everyone look under your seats. You all get One Rings.
Do I have a One Ring?
I wish I had a One Ring on me right now. I can pull out. Should I?
I used to have a One Ring, but I gave it to you.
You. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. Okay. So if Ben gets 14 to 16 more subscribers, we're not quite sure what that number is, he will give you a One Ring. You get a One Ring. You get a One Ring. You get a One Ring. Everyone look under your seats right now. You're going to get a One Ring.
There's definitely a One Ring underneath there. Oh, look.
It was under my seat.
We said it was going to happen.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You get a One Ring is what I would, surmise. That's the takeaway.
That's the end. That's what we got to.
Yeah.
God, that was so good.
It's a banger right there.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Please subscribe.
Right. Yeah, subscribe. Just a few of you. 14 to 16 to 20-ish. Somewhere in that range.
So I can't remember, but it's somewhere in
sub
20. Yeah.
Okay, on that note, go play some King Khala, draw some cards, counter everyone's spells, maybe resolve a Malcolm's Mercurial misadventure.
Mirth, dude. Come
Malcolm's
on.
Mercurial Mirth. I'm sorry. cEDH special, never been played before. I wasn't sure of the name. If you don't like playing Ragashai, if you don't like mulling into the ground, looking for a Rhystic Study, it's in the command zone. Is cast it from the command zone. You know, what is red even really doing for you? Underworld Breach?
Yeah.
This deck plays
Wakanda
real win
forever.
conditions. Real win conditions, yes. So yeah, on that note, enjoy the video. Let us know if you want to see some King T'Challa on gameplay. We might do a little gameplay video, perhaps. That'd be fun. With that note, I hope you enjoy it. Pretty good video. Kind of a banger. Look at us. Look under your seats. There's a wonder.
There's a wondering.
Yeah. Okay. Enjoy. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you. Yeah. That's what I was going for. You knew. And yeah, enjoy the video. Let us know if you enjoyed. Go subscribe to cEDH. Get a one ring. And we'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching the episode, and a huge thanks to Ben for joining me. If you guys enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you can do to support the channel. Really appreciate it. Let us know if there's anything that we could change. Always here to listen to input and to make the channel better, a better viewing experience for y'all. But that's it for this week. Thanks so much for watching the episode. We'll catch you next time.
Real quick, I wanted to share a word from our sponsors for this episode, Gilded Goblet. If you're in need of proxies, Gilded Goblet is the place to go. This is a brand that I just co-launched, and I'm so pumped to be able to bring it to you. We offer custom decks, so you can pick the 100 cards that you want with the art you love. We also offer singles, sets, and pre-constructed cEDH decks if you're just browsing. Every order, no matter how small it is, has free shipping, no order minimums, just grab whatever you need and you'll get it ASAP. As a tournament grinder, the quality is top-notch, and these can be used in all proxy-friendly events. You can use code BITESIZE to get 10% off whenever you shop. Also, every Wednesday at 10:30, when we release a new Bite-Size video, Gilded Goblet will run an additional sale, so just keep that in mind whenever you're shopping. You can check the link in the description and go get yourself some proxies. All right, let's get back to the video.
Reach out to me if you're interested in cEDH coaching. I won last year's invitational, and I'm currently ranked top 5 on the leaderboard this year. I've been working with coaching clients on one-to-one personalized plans where we diagnose what they're working on, their struggles, their goals, and help them reach them. In addition, we're also doing spell table coaching sessions so that we can watch you play and give you direct feedback on your game. If you're interested in coaching, reach out to me on Discord. It's at bitesize_snack, or leave a comment on this video. We'll reach out to you. Huge thanks to all the patrons of Bite-Sized. You guys are the best. You help us make videos that we wouldn't make otherwise. You're contributing to the channel, and you're part of the direction of Bite-Sized Magic. Especially big thanks to our Jumbo patrons, Candy Diabetes, Nick Ray, and Sharticus. You guys are awesome. If anyone is interested in joining the Patreon, you can check it out at the link below. Helps us support us just a little bit more, and you get a bunch of really cool perks, so go check that out.